They're both guys. A male and a female have different physical attributes. Female under all.
I'm Wren Kitz. I live in Burlington, Vermont, and I've been kind of just chipping away at music for the last 10 years or so.
Living in Wisconsin.
This album is called Dancing on Soda Lake. It's what I've been kind of calling textural song music. It's the closest that I think that I've come so far in a recording format to meshing the kind of two ideas that I've been working on and trying to refine and kind of create my own skill set in songwriting and in kind of more of the experimental sound collage type music that I've done mostly with field recordings. It flows from beginning to end the way that I would imagine an ambient music record, but there's melody and there's verses and singing and arranged instrumentation. We're always just trying to add things to the songs and try to create an element of improvisation in the songs. When we have a moment like tonight at the record release show to have some time to set up, it's our ultimate excuse to be able to set up some of those things. So what you saw was Ross kind of rigging up some different radios and things around the room to trigger at certain points, and lots of different tape recorders and things just to kind of do a lot of just manipulating cassette tape through guitar pickups or through, I have a volume pedal that is triggering a tape loop that just goes and goes. The building of the music from the framework up, I think oftentimes starts with a song. I am writing mostly on guitar and writing lyrics and singing. And introducing these songs to a band, it was never here's your part, it goes like this. It was more of when I play this song, I kind of think about the snowy landscape that was outside the window, or the ice storm that happened in the ways that the trees were creaking, and it's more of okay, we're creating that mood. There's always 2 or 3 times during a set where it is kind of a free-for-all, we'll play a song that has its specific arrangement, but we know when that song ends is when these radios across the room might be triggered, and then I look down at the things that I have, and it's just okay, now I'm gonna listen, and now I'm gonna improvise. And there's no time, even tonight it was we were oh yeah, well that part could be 10 minutes, or it could be 1 minute, it always depends. I kind of came up with this name, Dancing on Soda Lake, as a joke. Most of the names that I come up with are jokes that no one likes them, and I just move on. But this one, a friend of mine, Jake Brennan, really loved that name, and he ended up, as a gift, writing me this short story that was the true origin story of my birth. And it was specifically about how when I was born, I was snatched from my nursery by this lobster who dragged me down into this kind of aquatic dream alternate reality, and the final destination was Soda Lake, and that's where I kind of met some other characters that informed the way that I was going to interact with the world, both personally and musically. So that's kind of was the selling point on needing to capture that name in this music, because it's the closest yet to what I think I learned at Soda Lake.